Hey everybody, you know what time it is? It's story time with Jess Mooney time! Yay! Yeah, this is really a lot less motivating when I'm doing it by myself and there's no crowd of adoring people around me, but I'm gonna do my best, and I have a really good story for you today. And just like always, I will be making it up as I go along. I only have a bit of a premise in mind, really. So, okay. Today's story took place many, many years ago. About 17 to a few months, to be exact. Because this story is the creation of the Jess Mooney that you know today. Now, you've probably wondered where Jess Mooney came from. If not, well, it's time you begun. Once upon a time, in a land of dreams, there lived two Jess Mooneys. In the east, there was the masculine Jess Mooney. Now, the masculine Jess Mooney enjoyed doing things such as fighting and sports and video games, things that were generally considered to be masculine traits. She liked it when people thought she was strong, and she was very competitive, and that sort of thing. In the West, there was another Jess Mooney, who was the feminine Jess Mooney. The feminine Jess Mooney wore makeup and dressed in a more feminine way than the masculine Jess Mooney did. The feminine Jess Mooney enjoyed attempting to cook and considered herself to be very maternal, and was just generally more feminine and more girly than the masculine Jess Mooney. Now, in the beginning of this story, these Jess Mooneys had no idea that the other existed. We'll begin in the east with the masculine Jess Mooney, who was out in the forest one day with her sword and was just practicing killing things. Eventually, she heard these horrible noises, these horrible footsteps that were like boom, 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 boom. And it shook the very forest to its roots. And the masculine Jess Mooney was like, oh crap, I gotta get out of here. So the masculine Jess Mooney, sword in hand, was running through the forest and was trying to run from the horrible noise. So, the feminine Jess Mooney, meanwhile, was actually just having a lovely time sitting looking at the clouds and things. She was frightened suddenly because a similar noise, almost the exact same noise, boom, 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 shook her entire meadow. She got up and was running away, screaming in a girlish fashion. And the masculine Jess Mooney was running toward the west, but then stopped, turned around, raising her sword, and said, "Alright, come on then! Fight me! I'm strong enough!" But the noise just kept coming. The masculine Jess Mooney didn't have anything physical to fight, so the masculine Jess Mooney just ran away. And the feminine Jess Mooney was beginning to get very, very tired, and she began to think that maybe she could talk to this monster. Hi! Scary noise. Yeah, hi, it's me, feminine Jess Mooney, and, I don't know if it was your plan to hurt me, but if it was, I'd really rather you didn't. I just don't really like getting hurt. The noise just didn't answer. Eventually, the feminine Jess Mooney realized that she couldn't stand her ground any longer. She hid behind a tree at the very edge of the forest, but she heard a noise coming from behind her. Oh, hello. What are you running from?
There's a thing chasing me. I don't know what it is. It's like this noise. This noise is really loud.
Me too. It's the most horrible thing. I tried talking to it, but it wouldn't listen. It just kept coming.
Yeah, I tried to fight it, but there was nothing to fight, you know? It was I don't know what to do.
Eventually, the two noises stopped. A silence followed. A silence which either Jess Mooney could only hear the other's breath and the wind. After another moment of silence, a gut-wrenching noise cut through the air. It was the noise of a Stereotyposaurus! The Stereotyposaurus reared up onto its hind legs.
We should get advice. I know someone who's good to go to. Let's go to the Oracle. Oracle? Come on.
They were heading back into the woods to a place where the feminine Jess Mooney knew well. It was the place of the Oracle.
Oracle? Oracle? Hey, can you help us out here? Oh, hello. Oh, Oracle. Oh, thank goodness you're here. We have a bit of a problem. Yeah, we've got a Stereotyposaurus following us. Any advice you could give us would be great. Oh, a Stereotyposaurus. Do you know what it is? The Stereotyposaurus comes from a long line of society-created monsters. You see, the Stereotyposaurus is attracted to those who fit into the stereotype of either masculinity or femininity.
How do we defeat it?
To defeat it, you two need to combine your powers of masculinity and femininity to create an androgynous being.
How do we do that?
You must find that out for yourselves. Well, that's great. Now what do we do? I guess we have to fight it. Okay. Come on. What do we do? I don't know. Here, take my other sword. Ew, fighting? How do we combine? Come on, the Oracle said it's the only way. I don't know. We could run into each other? Good idea. You go over there and I'll go over here. If this doesn't work, it's gonna hurt a lot.
They began to run full speed toward each other. They collided in the center, and there was a burst of white light that would have blinded anyone else who stood there. All was quiet but for a ringing such as one might hear after an explosion. All was still, until eventually the light began to fade. Standing in the place where the two Jess Mooneys had collided was a third Jess Mooney. All of the masculine traits of the masculine Jess Mooney and the feminine traits of the feminine Jess Mooney had collided together to make one being that was just like every other human. A combination of both masculine and feminine traits. Because, if you think about it, no one person is exactly masculine or exactly feminine. This Jess Mooney picked up the two swords of her creators and found they became one entity when used together. One entity of pure humanity. The Stereotyposaurus fell to the ground with a horrible crash. Jess Mooney laid the two swords on the ground, reverently. And Jess Mooney nodded and turned around to walk into the mist. Because there was mist. There was totally mist. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was this week's story time with Jess Mooney time. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you will tune in next week for a story time that will be told live rather than pre-recorded.